Hi guys, this is your boy Martin from martinthevlogger.com/shop, and today another honest video, but a very difficult one. We're gonna talk about Swaybars. Oh, I know. And what you will find out in today's video, well, first I'm gonna tell you how upgraded Swaybar, aftermarket Swaybar, will help to your Spyder, or you can apply this also to a Ryker bikes. Everybody has a stock Swaybar on the Spyder. So what type of upgrade you will feel when you will change the Swaybars or anti-roll bar. I do have here, and we're gonna do comparison. I do have here stock Swaybar, aftermarket Swaybar that I do sell on my shop, one brand. And then we have heavy duty Swaybar, the strongest, the longest, the thickest, and only Swaybar that has 2 holes on each side for better setup, and also road legal and safety certificate. Now, how I can be honest that I'm gonna tell you like about this big, strong, whatever, and I'm gonna be still fair with you. Well, I do sell both of them. Both of them are great. One is, from my point of view, much better. And what else you will find out, I'm gonna talk about links and why I think why changing only links, this plastic shit, for aluminium, it's nonsense, and why it is a good marketing pitch. However, I will explain you why it is. Well, I don't have even an option to buy a Swaybar without the links. Why it is fruitful to change it together with a Swaybar. I'm going to tell you what type of Swaybar I'm using for a tour and rental agency. We have changed Swaybars on our bikes that we rent. And I'm going to tell you which one I use on the Beast. Because on the Beast I'm using different Swaybar, and I'm going to tell you why. Last but not least, I'll tell you my point of view why BRP is not doing a better job, if I may say. Why they don't have a better Swaybar or anti-roll bar on the bikes that there are 25k plus. And why some people will never understand the benefit of the Swaybar. Guys, enough of this. First 500 views, no video ads, and no bullshit around. Honest video. Let's get started. All right, let's start with what the Swaybar does, what upgraded Swaybar will give you, what why I think BRP is throwing that joke on every Spyder, and why some people will never get it. So if we will start, this is a stock Swaybar that you have on every Spyder. It's a joke. If you compare these two, have a look. I mean, like, I don't know if you can see it. It's just ridiculous. So what the Swaybar will do to you, I will rather keep this one. And there is no better, like on the bike, you cannot say about many products that it's better to have bigger, thicker, longer than really when we are talking about Swaybars. But of course it has its limits, and we will get there. So what it really does, and this is how it looks, you will find it in the front of your bike, and it connects one side of your bike with another. We can say, I'm no technician, I will just tell it to you as a rider that likes to ride. So it connects your wheel one side to another, and when you're going around corners, it basically moves the pressure through this. It's really like alpha and omega of your Spyder, even your Ryker. Like, it moves the pressure from one wheel to another. So if you go around the corners, you know, like if you're going a little bit crazier, the bike, because of our 3 wheels and 2 in the front, has a tendency to lift up. Well, there is one way how you can avoid it or reduce it to the maximum level. It's through the Swaybar. And if you have a joke like this, like stock, it will never work in an awesome way. Also, it's not only in the corners and you driving crazier or not. This helps you also when you're riding on a highway and you have strong winds. Like, everything that you feel directly in the handlebars it's going through mostly through the sway bars. So if you're in a stronger winds and you're fighting one way or the other, that's where the sway bar helps you. Same goes, is it correct word in English to have rails? Like when you have a heavy truck and they're creating those stupid rails full of water usually, and you're fighting them, that's where aftermarket sway bar helps you. And also, can you think about another thing where things like this can help you? If I'm talking about forces, if I'm talking about power, well, it will help you additionally as a power steering wheel. Because, of course, Spyders do have power steering wheel, but with strong sway bar, the power will move much easier from one side to another, so your hands are more relaxed. I mean, hopefully this is clear. So if you're going around the corners, one wheel is lifting up, and then it's stepping in, so the bike starts to brake more often. Aftermarket sway bar. In case you want your hands be more relaxed, aftermarket sway bar. One thing I haven't mentioned, much more sharper riding, and that's where actually we have to be careful. I will get into comparison, like how thick, how crazy our heavy duty sway bar is. But if you will get nuts, we can throw in much thicker thing, but you have to be careful because when you will go over certain power, it can become dangerous. But with this one, like how sharp is your riding on F3s on this bike? When you put, I'm getting to comparison, I should not, but if you're getting into a sport mode, we have comfort or touring and sport, you can almost like navigate with your pinkies. And it's much sharper than a stock sway bar. It's hard to tell. Of course, when you turn with the stock sway bar, your bike will go. But with this one, it's faster. It's there. Strong winds on the highway, on the roads, you will not fight that much. Your hands will be more relaxed. So fast corners, highways, whatever, it helps everywhere. That's alpha and omega. And why people don't get it, I call them internet trolls. Like a lot of people do call them that way. There are only two ways or two type of people that they say like, no, aftermarket sway bar don't help you, or three scenarios. One, you have just bought some Chinese thing that is not really helping, it's not thicker, it's not better, whatever. In case you have a good sway bar and you still say, in case you have aftermarket sway bar and you still say that think your Spyder hasn't improved, the problem is with you because you simply don't understand the bike. Simply not. And then there are the internet trolls that I have mentioned. They have never tried it. They just say, well, if something is like this and then we have absolutely the same shape and you have it already on your bike, well, there is no reason why to change it. And of course, I will give you one more thing. Yeah, the stock sway bar for many people will be just okay. It's all fine. But in case you would like to improve your handling, of course, shocks is one way, but sway bar, trust me, I always tell to people, in case you buy a new bike, go and make 1,000 miles on a twisty road and then change the sway bar and then come to me. You know what is happening actually the last 2 weeks? With our heavy duty sway bars, people are not writing to me, but people are started to call me because they didn't believe that such a thing can happen. Honest thing. I think the last call was from Bob. Right, Bob? Oh, and I almost forgot. So why I think BRP is not throwing that in? Well, why BRP is not putting belt tensioners? Why BRP, has changed weeks from Fox shocks to Cabayas all around because it's cost saving. That thing, where it is. This thing, it's maybe, I don't know how much, in case they buy 50,000 units like this, it's gonna be $10. Stronger one will be 15, I'm just saying. And yeah, times 50,000 units and you get a cost saving. So same with belt tensioners, same with puck shocks, same with bolts and everything, cost saving. Or maybe they want me to become rich and successful. I don't know, that's also an option, I don't know. So let's get to shall we get to a comparison? And I told you, I will not mention the name. If you go on my shop, martinthevlogger.com/shop, and you go to the Swaybars, you will see that I'm not using any, like this Swaybar, actually, let's start with this. This Swaybar, it's not the heavy duty Swaybar, it's the aftermarket one that I have. For the gentleman that it's building these, I have so big respect. And I have it on the Beast. Why I have not changed to heavy duty that we have on the Hope, so the bike that is for tour and rental agency, is because I'm too lazy to do it. I'm not lazy, I'm just super busy. I don't have time to do it. But what I'm trying to say with this, yes, even this one, another aftermarket Swaybar, it's still like 1,000 times better than this stock shit. I'm sorry. So in case we will put hierarchy, heavy duty Swaybar, nothing. This aftermarket Swaybar, and then nothing. And I just don't even want to put on this ranking less the stock one because it's just shit. Now, direct comparison, and come to me like on a table. I will be talking centimeters and inches will appear. I'm the only one who sells these, and we have brought the red Swaybar as well. I'm the only one who sells these worldwide. You cannot find them in US, Canada, Australia, nowhere. Martinthevlogger.com/shop is the only shop that ships them worldwide. Now, what's the best test? And I have found out that this is the best test. So this is size 14, all right? And I can put it inside of the stock Swaybar. Now, with this one, with aftermarket Swaybar that we have on the shop, it's also already not possible to put it in. So size 14, I will not comment on this one, on the heavy duty. All right, so size 14 is the stock Swaybar or anti-roll bar. Now size 16, so we skip 15, size 16. Hear that? It's difficult. To be fair, can you hear it? Just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. But this one we cannot fit in. This one we simply cannot fit in. That's how thick it is. In terms of thickness, as I told you, it's very important because more power, more strength can be, divided into this thick bar, more power. So even small movement in your hands, reacts as a more power in your front wheels. Now, size, you know the rule, right? Size always matters. And let's go like this, tiny bit to the back so you can see everything. So, in case I will have a look on a stock Swaybar, it's 59.6 centimeters. If I will go to the aftermarket, I think when I was doing measurements, it's even a little, tiny bit smaller. 59.5.6, so it's the same thing. Now if you go to the heavy duty Swaybar, oh guys, almost 64, it's 63.9. It's the heavy duty Swaybar. Now why it is better to have as long as possible? Well, again, you cannot go super crazy because it can actually become dangerous. Why it is important is because it's physics, all right? It's like arm's length principle. So the bigger you have it, again, the more power can be easier distributed, all right? through the for the front wheels, and your riding is more comfortable, and actually you see more and more benefits out of it. Now the last thing is that I wanted to comment on are the links, and why I think, again, I'm thinking a lot today. Martinthevlogger is not selling on the links because, of course, like changing plastic links to full aluminium, of course, aluminium will be always more powerful than stupid plastic thing. However, these links, when we did tests, they can cope up with 14 tons. That's a lot. And changing only links, it's, if somebody, like I have heard, like, it's placebo. You would have to be like super good rider, like extremely good rider, with all respect to you, in order to be able to in order to be able to feel the difference between aluminium links and the stock links that are plastic shit. Now towards aluminium links, yes, I recommend, like I even removed an option to buy our heavy duty Swaybar without the links. Why? Because there are high pressures, high forces, and I don't want you to use stock plastic links with our heavy duty Swaybar, because it's going to be much more pressure. Again, will the stock links cope up with the heavy duty Swaybar? Yeah, they will. But I always say, you know, when you're doing a change, you will do it only once in a lifetime for your Spyder. Do it properly. Change the links and change the Swaybar altogether. So more pressure, more forces through the Swayabar, and Swayabar is connected to your bike via the links. Why to have plastic when you can have a proper aluminium? The very last thing I should comment on are these two holes. It's significant possibility of setup. The shorter one, or the closer one, it's for sport riding, but I don't want to say like because this heavy duty Swaybar, of course, is popular with F3s and RTs. And talking about sport ride and RT, it's almost like nonsense. That's the way why I don't really like that we call it sport. It's simply more sharp. More experienced riders should use this hole. This one, it's for, we call it for comfort riding, but it's going to be tiny bit less sharp. So that's what I'm telling you, like slide movement and the bike goes. That's how great it is. Still have a smile on my face when talking about it. So also in my tour and rental agency, we are using the comfort hole, just because I have different types of riders in here. And not to forget, this is a German Swaybar. It's from H&R. So if you know H&R name in the motorsport, great brand, and they come with TUV certificates. What TUV means is that it's road legal and safety. So we have tested them directly on the bikes. They are safe. When you change them, the bike will work correctly, and there is, even through series of tests when something can go wrong, they have passed those tests. So therefore it's safe to use. And also in Europe, in many other countries, you need to have that paper in order to pass the technical inspection that repeats every, like in Slovakia, every 4 years. So guys, I told you which Swaybars I'm using, what is the difference between different options, told you what actually anti-roll bar, upgraded anti-roll bar can do to your windy conditions, handling around corners, rails on the road, power steering, and more sharp riding. I told you where you can find it. Martinthevlogger.com/shop. We ship worldwide. And I believe this is pretty much it. Stay tuned, because hopefully next week There is a riding video coming. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, buy yourself aftermarket Swaybar because it's a hell of a lot of improvement in it. And always have fun. Oh, and buy it on martinthevlogger.com/shop.